A brilliant contest here this morning. Cold morning, just 10 degrees as we go up. Shannon Egan does get the tap down. A couple of players pushing out. Woolcock in there. Getting it out. Seaton goes to Hartog. Hartog tried to go with the inboard switch, but it was smothered off the boot. Players corral her. Gogos tries to go in. The tackle comes, but they manage to forge it out. Gogos again for Darebin. Go through, but she's tackled by two of them. Stripped of the ball, not holding the ball paid. She goes back in. The Darebin stalwart. And we'll get a stoppage at half forward for the Falcons. Go up again. Egan had so many hit-outs last week. 36. It's absolutely sensational, and that goes nowhere. Sam Basis ensures that nothing comes of the Port Melbourne possession. They go inside through Mifsud here, Darebin, and a good strong mark. No, it's dropped. Good pressure from the defence of Port Melbourne. That was McKellar. The tap down came. Busting through Eastman. Can't quite get through. Already very ferocious. And a holding free kick is going to go the way of the Falcons. And it is Ange Gogos. The stalwart of this team looking to move it on. The quick kick not so good. It bounces at the feet of her teammate. Goes towards the goal square. Almost a throw down there. Bursting through there, Caruso trying to forge something out of this. Davey goes in as well. Nothing coming of it. Will get a ball in the forward pocket for the Darebin Falcons. The winless Darebin Falcons this season. As I said off the top, 762 days since that last victory. What a day it would be to end that. We saw Coburg do it against Collingwood a couple of weeks ago. Tap came down and Gogos again tracking it down. Such a prolific ball winner she is. Very much looking forward to seeing how she goes today. Toss back in. Bounced through a few people. Getting through was Woolcock. Caruso couldn't really do much. The kick came forward. Punch there. McKellar does really well. Seaton goes in there, but she's wrapped up by Duparquet. It spills to ground. Comes out around the back. Basis taken without it, possibly. No free kick paid. And now they can move it on here. Meg Buchanan, the debutant, had a big roar when she kicked that. Good spoil from Chris Gergel. The kick came out, and now Port Melbourne can move it. Stutt got a nice kick away. And Woolcock can move it on. Goes into the middle looking for Hartog. She handballs it off, and now they can go towards her attacking 50. Wilson got it to McClelland, who's tackled. Goes back to Wilson. Wilson to Hartog. Hartog gets a quick handball over the top, and they'll move it inside 50. Goes through hands. The quick kick away, not coming through. And goes towards the boundary line and taken over. And I'm going to introduce you to the one and only Brendan Jonty Rhodes this morning. Jonty, how are you?
Great to be with you finally, Val.
Bit of traffic?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I hate Melbourne. I hate the roads in Melbourne, put it that way.
Yes, and the drivers.
Gee, they can't drive. 60 speed limit means 45 here in Melbourne.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's unbelievable. But I apologise to everyone at home, but we're here and underway now for what we hope is a terrific game of footy.
Yes, certainly.
And the Falcons have started pretty well. So
they have. This is really the only foray forward that Port Melbourne have had. So it's been a really good start for Darebin.
Egan, saw her last week, as you mentioned, a lot of hit-outs. She was fantastic. Trying to break clear unsuccessfully there for Port Melbourne. Looked like it was McClelland, but couldn't do so. The ball up at the top of the 50. Going to the market end of the ground. There's a lot of people in the market too this morning, Val. Not a park to be had anywhere.
I managed to get one pretty easy this morning on the other side of the ground. You can probably see my car on camera.
I'll have to go and check that one out a little bit later because I'm not sure if I should be where I am. As we see the Borough try to break clear, but it's going to be the Falcons through the agency of McKay. puts it out towards half-back. They'll break the tackle. Kick goes down towards half-forward Duparquet. Bouncing ball, Simpson tracks it, gets there, hooks it back on the left boot, sets up a foot race. Burrow with the numbers, however. And the clearing kick across the half-back line will work well. Hartog puts their kick out towards the wing. Nicely run onto by Woolcock. Gave the hand pass off. That was Caruso, the Hardiman medalist, and her kick nicely out to the key forward in Harley. She was crucial in the grand final. Gave it back to Hartog. Little chip short is good. And the ball's in the hands of Booth.
Booth inside the 50. That's a nice looking kick. Pinpoint pass and finds Borg on the lead. Borg goes with an outside of the boot chip. Found Seaton. Now they can try and push it forward. Hart got the handball away. High up and under kick. Buchanan got the quick kick away towards the boundary line, and it'll treacle over for a throw-in Port Melbourne's forward pocket. 6 minutes gone in this opening term. No score as of yet. A lot of dew on the ground. Very cold morning in Melbourne. I'm not sure how you're only in a polo, Jonty.
I didn't have time to put a jumper on just yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Egan won the tap. Simpson tries to go through. In fact, that was one of the late inclusions, was it? Grace Wake, sorry.
Yep, Millie Sharp.
Rule on the outer wing. It'll come back in and find McKellar. Could have got best on last year in the grand final, I apologise. Wonderful job in defence. Not this time, however. It's intercepted by Tchaikovsky on debut. Sends the kick towards half forward. No mark taken there by Caruso. And a good tackle put on by DiMatteo ensures that she's going nowhere.
So the umpire will toss it up. Darebin, it took them almost all of 2 games to kick their first goal of the season this year. That coming against the Southern Saints at Trevor Barker Oval. High up and under kick inside the 50. The race is on. Getting there first is DiMatteo. She's tackled hard and she's on the ground. That's going nowhere.
Holding the ball.
Yep. So the umpire thought she had prior. I thought that was a bit stiff, to be quite honest. No. I wasn't expecting that to come at all.
Very, very quick call, that one.
Yep. It's probably the quickest I've seen in the VFLW this season. Bouncing along the ground, as you'll see in this dewy weather. The mark spilled by McKay, so Woolcock jumps onto it and kicks it along the wing. Kane down on the ground. She's corralled, and they can force it forward here, the Borough. Good-looking kick for Eastman, who traps it with her leg really nicely. Gets the handball over the top. Borg did well to get it back to Eastman on the fist. Booth tackled. That's going nowhere.
So still no score. 8.5 minutes have ticked by in the opening quarter here at Jenna Steele Oval. Great to see the Falcons and the Bull Ants trying to build an alliance here. Falcons obviously have been a little bit nomadic over the past few seasons since they lost the use of Alan Capp and then Bill Laurie-Oval. IH Capp and then Bill Laurie-Oval.
Does make sense, though, doesn't it?
The standard of the ovals, I suppose, coming up for the competition. I'm sure they would love to be still playing out at AH Cap. But if they can play their home games here, they can really build a home as we see another ball upcoming.
Yeah, certainly. And I think the Bull Ants, they're in such close proximity to Darebin and the Darebin Parklands. They're not too far away at all, a 5-minute drive away.
We're in the Darebin City Council,
yes,
aren't we?
We are.
So, quick kick forward for the Falcons. Overrunning the football there was Amy Kane. Booted forward for the Borough towards half forward. Knocked away from the agency there of the Port player in Eastman. Trying to track it and then being dragged down was Duparquet. She's asking for a free kick, not going to get it. And we'll have a ball up. Umpires today, Doug Hayworth and Samantha Ritchie. on the boundary. Asher Hinton, Lachlan Smith and Luke Wally in the goals. James Candler and Jack Kennedy.
Doing a great job so far this morning as that spills out of play on the outer side. I reckon that's right in front of my car out there.
At least you know it's safe.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now while the ball's awaiting to be tossed in, and now it is in, so we'll focus back on the footy. Goes around the back and going through his stud. Gets through everybody and trying to trap it through. Port Melbourne, just that surge mentality, forcing it forward. Had a tough loss to the Giants last weekend, did the Borough. The Giants and the Swans in their last of the 5 invitational games that they're playing in the VFLW this week. So goes back to somewhat normality. Another stoppage inside the forward 50 of Port Melbourne. No score as of yet. We're over halfway into the first term. Basis trying to corral it, trying to paddle it forward. And again, it goes nowhere. So to try and bring you out of this stoppage congestion, I'm going to hand you back over to Jonty Rhodes.
And I like what Collingwood's done today. They're the first team out of the 10 that have taken a stronger team to play one of those guest sides.
You have to.
And they're wondering why they're getting well beaten. They're just not taking their best players to play them. Essendon left 4 AFLW players out today. They're not going to compete. Here's a chance now for Duparquet to receive the handball from DiMatteo. Boots it up towards half forward. Tracking it back, getting there first. Now there's an illegal shepherd just off the ball here. And this is going to be a shot at goal for the Falcons. Might be Mifsud, is it?
I think
it is. Amy Kane, sorry.
Yep.
Amy Kane, one of the Collingwood recruits.
Tough kick, though.
No, she's not going to go for goal. She's going to put it on the lead. And it's a nice pass and a nice mark taken by the co-captain in Simpson. And Steph Simpson, who's skippered this team for the last 3 or 4 years, joined this year by Collingwood captain Caitlin Bunker, who came across. Not playing today, of course, Bunker, so Simpson back in full control and has a chance to kick the first goal. And indeed, the first score of the game, which we've waited 12 and a half minutes for. Steph Simpson from 35 metres out, runs a full measure, not going to get the distance. An uncontested mark taken in the last line of defence by Bella Clark.
Read the drop zone really well there, did Clark, and now the Borough can try and force it up the other end if they can. Shrugging their tackle beautifully, and they do manage to get it out towards the wing. But the Darebin pressure very good. If there's one thing that they are, they're a good tackling side, the Darebin Falcons. Even in the games where they have been demolished, they generally do win the tackle count. That kick not so good, but it does work out. Now they can move it inside the 50 here, the Falcons. The Borough. It comes in through the 50, through Williams. And then straight back out. McKellar, nice kick. Finds Clark, who took that uncontested mark before. Goes inside the attacking 50. The mark spilled, however. McClelland, Stutt towards goal. Punch came. Still trying to burst their way through. They can't do so. Katie Lee got the quick kick away. In there is Borg. Kick straight into Borg. Stutt went in, couldn't pick it up. Here's Raymond. She can't pick it up. And that's just going to be wrapped up.
So 14 minutes gone now. So we still wait for the first score of this game. Darebin versus Port Melbourne here at Jenna Steele Oval. Rebel VFLW. We hit the mid-season point, would you believe, already today, Val, round 7.
So quick.
Yeah, it's almost cricket before we know it.
I know.
Love to see the ladies play more football too.
Yeah, 12 rounds just doesn't seem like enough, does it?
Yeah, it makes it tough. Makes it tough to get really into the season, but it does keep it very close as Williams tumbles a kick in towards the pocket. No mark taken there by a change there for Port. Number 46.
Charlie Ryan.
Charlie Ryan's changed from 47. Well, actually, she is officially listed at 46, and the teams came out yesterday with a different number, so thanks, Port. Ball knocked to ground. That was a tackle. Was it a legal one? Emily Raymond was dispossessed. Clearing kick goes out towards halfback. Tracking it is Barton, playing her first game of the season. Gets there just inside the line to see it over for a throw-in. Yeah, Liv Barton, experienced player at Port Melbourne. But
Rebel Team of the Year last year.
yeah, hasn't played a game before today, so a very welcome inclusion for the reigning premiers as they try to break a 3-game losing run. Might get it here, but Gogos got in there first and was wrapped up. Just forward of the wing. Nearly 16 minutes gone still in the opening quarter. Ball knocked to ground. Long kick out from Mifsud. Goes towards half forward. Tracking it is McKellar. The ball just bounced up off her boot, and a flying shot will be the first score of the game. I think that was Cowley Dupaquet.
Believe it was.
And saw it through for the first score of the game after 16 minutes are behind to the Falcons.
So they are in front. How long can they maintain it for? Of course, we said off the top, and I think that's going to be the number of the day, 762, Brendan. That's 762 days since their last win. The kick goes inside the 50 from Egan. There was a push, and it is going to go the way of the Falcons. And it is going to be Dupaquet. No, it's not. It is going to be Di Matteo, who kicked their 2 goals last week. So this is a big kick. Heavy ball, dewy ground.
Another Collingwood recruit. 45 goals in 51 games at VFLW level, so is a genuine goal kicker.
So it's a massive, massive kick in the context of this game to give them some momentum. Monique Di Matteo. It's on its way. It looks good. It's just got to get the journey. It has got the journey. The Falcons fly ahead.
Wonderful kick by Monique Di Matteo. And that is just what they needed for their hard work. Get a score on the board. You said that, what did you say, 762
days. April 2, 2022.
27 matches in that time.
Yep.
Amazingly, they were 5-2 at the midway point of the 2022 season and haven't won since.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Now, this was the one of the original powerhouses of this competition.
Well, they're still a powerhouse in women's football and women's sport, indeed. And they are certainly better than they were last year. They are improving. It's taking time for a whole new look team to gel, and that's a wonderful goal from DiMatteo as the clearing kick came out of the middle for Beth Wilson, trapped by Chris Gergel. Another one of those Collingwood signings. Came across vice-captain there, vice-captain here. And wrapped up there at half-forward.
I feel like they're a bit like Coburg in the Smithies VFL, where they've improved. They didn't win a game last year, but the improvement is certainly there.
Yeah, and I see them as the Western Bulldogs a year behind.
Yep.
Uncompetitive in 2022, pinched 3 wins last year and are definitely on the up.
I've called a lot of the Dogs this year. They're quite good.
As we see a tackle put on there, bringing Wilcock to ground. Hartog tries to get the ball out. In the end, backs away because it wasn't coming clear through Ava Seaton. And she's a star, Ava Seaton, coming out of the QAFLW competition last year from Bond University. Came with big raps from the great Chris Yeend, of course, up there.
So quick kick came through off the ground and trying to force it through there is Mifsud. It's going nowhere. So Darebin, really good start. There's less than a minute to go in this opening term, so they will lead it at quarter time, which hasn't happened much this season. They've been ferocious. They've tackled wonderfully.
Best part about it is it's actually going to be 2 weeks in a row, Val. They led by a point against Williamstown last week before being overrun. This is even better, keeping Port scoreless.
Yep. Quick kick away came from Gogos, and that's going nowhere, so I reckon this is probably going to be the last play, barring a quick kick inside 50 and a goal. Darebin, the only team that can score here in the next 12 seconds. The thud came down. Basis couldn't quite pick it up. The kick does come. Goes towards the attacking 50, but it's off hands. Can they quickly move it forward?
Oh.
Great tackling pressure there.
Lauren Caruso.
Lauren Caruso. That is a wonderful tackle, because who knows what could have happened if a quick kick came away there. But that's it for the opening term. Darebin, they lead at 1-1-7 at Port Melbourne, yet to score. And that's thanks to the goal by Monique Di Matteo.
You get here and you see there's a little bit of fog on the glasses when you put the binoculars up. Makes it a bit tough. But we're underway through Egan. Won the tap down. Mifsud playing on the ball. Still looking for her first goal of the year. Alyssa Mifsud sitting on 48 for her career. And she's kicked 0-5 so far. So would love to break that drought today, especially with the Falcons in front at quarter time. 6 times the charm, you know what they say. Yep. Sam Basis not breaking clear. Impressive last week against the Seagulls with Sam Basis. Egan with the tap. Mifsud's being held. Umpire saw it. Free kick to the Falcons. Alyssa Mifsud playing, I think it's game number 84 today. Very experienced player at VFLW level, and that's going to be paid the mark or a hold.
I think they paid the hold, because I was going to say that's not a mark.
Ella Southgate it is, who has it 48 metres out from goal. Pops it to the lead. The lead was from a Port Melbourne player, and the mark was dropped there by Ava Seaton. And the umpire calls for a ball up. The Falcons have done 90% of the attacking so far in this game. And they've got the result on the scoreboard so far against the reigning premiers, no less. Kick out towards half-back. Ball knocked to ground there by Blackwood. Played her 50th last week. It'll come to Egan through Mifsud. Kick was nicely smothered. That was beautifully done by Charlie Ryan. And it's going to be tidied up. The umpire will have to sort it out.
What a way to end the losing streak than beat the reigning premier. It would be quite a story for the Darebin Falcons if they can continue this momentum that they've got. Stutt got it to Woolcock. Goes long towards half forward. Punched away. And that'll go over the boundary line. Almost had it on her chest, Grace Wake, but the lasso rule comes into effect here.
She's called the lasso rule, and I'm not so sure that she knows which way. In the end, no, it's Port's free kick, and Port didn't realise it was Port's free kick.
I think Grace Wake thought it was hers. She was rolling her eyes at the umpire and all sorts of demeanour, all sorts of negative demeanour. But nonetheless, we have a stoppage right on Port Melbourne's 50. Leading disposal getter on the ground, Ange Gogos. She's had 7. Prolific ball winner. She goes in there as well, as does Georgia Booth. She's tackled. So Darebin, they would have their tails up. They can sense something brewing on this cold Melbourne morning. And they are flying over the borough at the moment. Another stoppage, and they'll look to try and get it away from Port Melbourne's goal as quickly as they can. 3-game losing streak for the borough. Thudded down by Egan. And that, again, is going nowhere. So this ferocious tackling. At the moment, they lead that count 28-26.
Interesting, too. I've got a couple of stats that I came up with this morning that I can bring out to you soon, or last night, that I found very interesting as we see the ball overrun here by Seaton. Chance for the Falcons to get away from half-back. Caught here was Kane. Well, that was, in fact, Simone Rudin. Another one of the experienced Falcons. As Egan goes up against Wilson. Wilson with the tap. Handball was smothered, and then the clothesline put on that the umpire didn't see. Everyone else saw it. Should have been a free kick to Darebin, but was not awarded there to Emma McKay. Ball spills down. Seaton. It came up to Bella Stutt, who was then harried out of play for a throw-in.
What do you got for me?
Darebin is more experienced, an average game's 34 to 29. They are taller and they are older.
There you go.
Taller, older and more experienced than Port Melbourne today.
Well, you look at the ages. Gogos 34, Steph Simpson definitely above the average age. And
shrugging the tackle, sorry, here's Seaton. Gives the hand pass off. McClelland will run into the open goal. Nicely done for Port Melbourne. It was started there by Mifsud, who busted through a couple of contests, got the hand pass off, and Laura McClelland kicks the first goal for the Borough. They're on the board, 1 straight 6. Darebin 1-1-7, 5-minute second quarter.
That's a killer. They've done so much defending Darebin, and to allow that one to be kicked so easily, I guess out of the stoppage, certainly wouldn't help, but they still do have the lead. 5.5 minutes gone nearly in this second term. They've done all the attacking, have the Falcons. Really great finish from Laura McClelland. Opening score of the day. AFLW listed for the Tigers. Very handy player she is. Back up in the middle. Tap came down from Beth Wilson. Mifsud did really well, just hooked it around the body as far and as high as she could. Bounces with a leg break. Hart did really well, got it to the debutant in Buchanan. Took it for a little bit of a run, wheeled around onto the right, kicked inside the 50. It bounces through a few fingers, paddled away, and continuing this surge mentality here, the Borough. Race is on. It's a 3-on-1. Darebin do have the numbers. Doing everything that they possibly can to try and avoid this one going through. However, the quick kick did come out, and it's going to treacle through for a behind. And that was Naily Borg, who levels proceedings here.
So ball back into play quickly. Mark taken in the back pocket for Darebin by Katie Lee. Late withdrawal last week, back in the team today. Pops the kick up towards half-back. Worked her opponent under the ball, Wicksteed, but couldn't take the mark. Quick kick goes back inside. Tap down playing for the free kick there was Eastman. Couldn't get it. Stacks on the mill. Mifsud's going to hold this one up.
So last week, despite going down by 25 to the Giants, they had 9 more inside 50s, Port Melbourne, so they certainly can get it in there.
Just taking the opportunities is the key. So Darebin had good control for long periods against Williamstown as well, but just couldn't put it on the board. Here's Emily Harley, wrapped up as soon as she gathered the football. It's held underneath her. That is going to be a ball up.
Well, their round 1 game, they were minus 27 inside 50s. Last week, they were only minus 7.
So they're definitely improving. Yep. They halved the margin. It was still Williamstown's biggest score at home in their VFLW history and their biggest winning margin, but it certainly didn't feel like that. As we see Seaton receive the hand pass, gave it off, missed the target. Off the ground there goes Storer into half-back. Hartog did well, got the hand pass to Wilson. Having to work hard to get through traffic is Booth. Then got run down, spilled free. Umpire said play on. Wilson tumbles it forward. Her opposite number threw it away, did Egan. Umpire let that one go. Clearing kick goes out of defence there from Simpson. Up towards half-back. It's going to roll away towards the boundary line and out. And it's off a Port Melbourne boot. So it's going to be a Darebin free kick to be taken by Maggie McKellar, who's gotten rid of the long sleeves at quarter time.
She has. I think she's clearly warmed up. And it's starting to heat up out there. That's a strong mark taken by Duparquet. So what can she do? It's a bit of a worrying sign for the Falcons. Port Melbourne seem to be cutting them open a little bit more, and Di Matteo just simply had to take that mark. McKellar jumps on the ball. It was in her lap. And Di Matteo, the goal kicker for the Falcons, would be a little bit annoyed with that. But they do get the ball up on the wing. But they're just starting to get a little bit more of clean possession, and look at the way that Williams runs through. Holding free kick is going to go the way of the Borough. And they can push it inside the attacking 50. Dropping the mark, Chris Gergel. She does get the quick kick away. Goes through Raymond's legs. Millie Schoen has to bust in as well. And now they do get the quick handball away. Katie Lee fumbled. Not at a good time either. Storer has it. She's wrapped up. Took a long time to blow the whistle. Ball almost came out, but the umpire does come to the rescue.
They do give them a long time to
probably a
to
bit
get
too
the ball
long.
free in the VFLW. And yeah, I agree. Sometimes just blow the whistle. Avoid the risk of the dangerous tackle.
Agree 100%.
Schoen fumbled the first go, got it the second one, gave the hand pass back. Clearing kick was put away there by McKay up towards half-back. Kane almost slipped as she kicked it in the dew. Strong tackle put on there. Umpire deciding that there was no push in the back, but the Darebin player is hurt from it. It was Olivia Barton who laid the tackle. And
blood rule.
Yeah, she's actually face planted here and got a blood nose. The Darebin Falcon there as she was tackled, which obviously proves that it probably should have been paid as a dangerous tackle.
I think it could be Steph Simpson down there.
I think it is the skipper. They'll help her to her feet now.
Yep, Steph Simpson.
Yeah, so definitely face planted in the tackle from Liv Barton, but Barton was very, very quick. She didn't release the tackle. She stayed there. She looked after her and made sure that the play was stopped. And she certainly got quite a sore nose, Steph. As
you would.
Yeah. Right into it's a pretty hard ground here at Jenna Steele Oval at the moment. And I would think the way she's actually holding them, I'm not sure whether she'd be holding that to stem the bleeding or if something worse is an issue.
Try and have a look with the binoculars if she does move her hand, but I'm a little bit afraid if she does move the hand.
There is quite a bit of blood there.
Yeah. Great to see the Port Melbourne doctor out there as well with her
Yeah.
and walking. That's really good camaraderie. I just think you can drop the competition at that point in time.
It's actually a cut above on the bridge of the nose rather than a blood nose. I just saw there as she went into the bench. So they'll get that cleaned up and hopefully get her back out there very soon, hopefully. Best wishes to Steph Simpson.
It's always very scary when you see a cut like that. I'm not very good with blood, Jonty.
No, that would suggest. I don't want to. No, actually, I won't go there. As the ball comes back into play deep forward for Port Melbourne. And there's a whistle just off play, and it's going to be a Falcons free kick. And it's going to be taken here by Raymond. Inside defensive 50. Pops the kick up to the wing. Ground level ball. Nice hand pass out towards space from Rudin. Finds its way over the line in traffic. And it'll be a throw in.
It's the aroma of bacon.
Oh, yes.
Overcomes us.
Isn't it what?
After this game, I think I will be, maybe even at half-time, I might be stopping through at the canteen to grab a bacon and egg roll of some sort.
They were setting up the barbie as I rushed through them to get up the stairs at the start of play.
You should have stopped and got us one.
They weren't quite ready to go at that stage. But yeah, it's worth a visit back by the smells of that.
Yep, 100% is.
Making all our viewers hungry.
Maybe just keep the stream on while you're cooking and multitask this morning. So they just cut through. No free kick paid to the Borough there, which is quite interesting, but probably staged a little bit. But having said that, I did think it was a hold. Another stoppage on the wing. So locked in a bit of a stalemate. 13 and a half minutes gone out of the 20 in this second term. Level pegging. Darebin got the only goal of the opening term and the only goal so far to Laura McClelland of the Borough. Kick goes towards the centre of the ground. De Matteo couldn't quite take the mark. She got the kick around the corner. It was probably a little bit too quick, and they can just move it on here at Port Melbourne. Mark spilled. Raymond goes in and kicking in danger. That goes against Lauren Caruso. So Darebin can try and get that foray forward. They just lacked a little bit of cleanliness in this second term. And they'll want to try and improve that. Port Melbourne have looked like they've just gone up another notch. Darebin holding firm, however. Raymond just surveying her options. Goes as long as she possibly can. Ball just on the ground, waiting to be picked up. A couple of Falcons go at it against each other. Here is Raymond. Got the handball away, and now they can push it inside the 50. It's high, it's up, it's under. And it's straight to Lisa Davey.
So Davey is one of the more experienced Borough players. 57 games in defence. Gave it off to Barton, who put a beautiful kick out towards half-back. The mark was put down, but plenty of time to recover. Tracking it here is Ryan. And how will that be judged? That is Lasso. Ryan just toe-poked it over the line, just as I thought she did. And Grace Wake will get the free kick. Pops it in short to Raymond. Thought about giving it off to Rudin, then decided otherwise and got caught. Cold, done, gone. Wonderful tackle for Port Melbourne, put on there by Jessie Williams. Wins the free kick, runs away, sends it towards half forward. Blackwood got a hand in there, knocked it to ground. Big tackle put on by Wake is in the back. So free kick going to the Borough.
It's good by Ange Gogos just to say, Grace, go towards the goal line. You're taller.
Beth Wilson, or was it Charlie Ryan, I think it was, who popped it around the 50-metre line. And Duparquet is wrapped up in the tackle. That was nicely done by Buchanan in the first game. 22 years of age. From Cerberus is Meg Buchanan. The Navy base down there, down near Phillip Island. Clearing kick out. Goes nowhere in particular. Ferreted away by Gogos. Little hand pass clears the zone. Duparquet got it up to Gogos. Long kick to half forward. Only one player back there. Like Seaton, who couldn't pick it up cleanly. Now under pressure. It was Eastman who's gone behind the ball there, heading towards half-time. Duparquet dives on the football, not being able to get it out of there.
Jeez, I thought Tchaikovsky missed a trick there, not trying to paddle that forward instead of going in for it, because DiMatteo was goal side. Punch forward, and Raymond gets the kick towards the goal square, taking a very, very nice mark. Down there is McKellar. Safe pair of hands, those ones. The kick, not so good, however. Pressure right on. Blackwood did really well to affect the tackle, and now they can try and force it through, but Port Melbourne equal to the task, and they can move it out. But Chris Gergel, she probably should have let that fly onto the chest. She didn't. Went hands out. Ended up in the hands of Rudin, right in the centre of Jenna Steele Oval. Makeshift home for the Falcons at the moment. I think they're going to try and make this their regular home.
3 games this year here.
Yep.
The others out at Latrobe.
Sharing with the Bull Ants, who also have a game out here today, which you'll be doing, Jonty. Soccer skills coming through from Duparquet. However, Port Melbourne, they can run onto it. Great tackle laid from Ella Southgate. And they keep that pressure on with 1.5 minutes to go.
And the longer that they're in this game, the more the confidence will build and the harder it'll be for Port Melbourne to put them away. As it's one down by Wilson, it bounced back up to it, but straight into Alyssa Mifsud. And ball up. Egan, couple of taps, gets it forward. Trying to run onto the footy there was Raymond. Did a nice job. Hand pass back. Here was Gogos. Tumbles it towards goal off hands. One-on-one contest. McKellar couldn't get clear. And it'll be a ball up.
Good spot to be with 1 minute to go.
Or a boundary throw in right next to the behind post. So yeah, last minute. Can Darebin get something on the board for the quarter? They haven't scored in the term after keeping Port scoreless in the first. Kane flipped it up to DiMatteo. Caught. not going anywhere. We'll do it again at the top of the goal square. As the time ticks away. Chance for the Falcons. It's going to be taken away, however, by Woolcock, who brought the kick out towards half-back. Strength there from Bella Clark. Got it up towards the wing. It's going to come back Raymond. Overrunning the footy there was Clark coming up for another go. And that will see us out for the first half, Al.
Certainly will. Really good half from the Falcons, but still not one score to the left of screen so far this morning. So it's going to be who can take advantage when they are kicking to what doesn't seem like there's a scoring in, but it seems that way on the scoreboard. Darebin Falcons 1-1-7 thanks to a goal from Monique Di Matteo in the opening quarter, and Port Melbourne through the first part of the third quarter.
Wilson up against Egan. Give it to the Falcon. Egan. 236ers track it down. That is Seaton for Port Melbourne, who gets the clearance. Sends it to half forward. Chris Gergel lays the tackle. And brought her Borough opponent to the ground. Molly Eastman. Of course, a foundation swan was Molly Eastman before switching to Richmond after the first season. War number 1, actually, for the Sydney Swans in their first AFLW season. There's a trivia question down the track. Ball tapped to ground. Captain North Melbourne before that in the VFLW, as it's taken away here by Seaton. Receiving the handball, goes inside 50. Harley has it knocked away from her. And Seaton will give away the free kick here. Will she? No, she'll win it for holding the ball. Thought that almost fell into the back of Emma McKay.
That was a pile-driving tackle.
Short pass. Harley bounced off her face. Falcon against the Falcons. Mifsud to wait. McKay put it out towards half-back. Shrugging the tackle, McKellar. Gets around onto the right boot. Kick inside 50. Just a little bit too hot for the target. Gathered by Rudin, who fired it back out towards half-back. Nice juggling mark by Caruso.
Emily Harley was still sore for a long time. That wet football would not tickle, especially when it lands on your face. Kick towards the attacking 50 is good. Here's Eastman. Now, what can she do? This kick has to be good. They haven't led for the entirety of this game. Goes right to the teeth of goal. The quick kick out as far as possible. No infringement. Mifsud, she dropped the ball. Hartog tries to go in. She's affected off the football. Chris Gergel gets the kick away. Over the head of Southgate. Coming through Duparquet. Great tackling ferocity here from the Falcons, who managed to lock it away from that forward 50 of Port Melbourne. Even better, they get holding the ball.
Doesn't even realise she's got it, Di Matteo.
No one knew that they had the free kick. All three of them ran away. Duparquet, Southgate and Di Matteo. Now Southgate's got it on the wing. Near side here at Jenna Steele Oval. In Melbourne's north, it's a cold morning. Over the head of everybody. Here goes Egan. Tries to burst her way through. She can't get it out. Great tackle from Davey. Umpire says my ball.
Excuse me. Falcons working the ball forward. Wilson taps it back out towards the line. Hartog fumbles. And that should be a lasso, and certainly is. Boundary umpire listening to the Darebin bench there against Izzy Hartog. The free kick to Liv Storer. Runs off the line, pops it up towards half forward. Wilson with the knockdown. Wrapped up as soon as she gathered the football with Southgate.
Ava Seaton, leading disposal getter on the ground with 12. Same with Ange Gogos.
It's their Bond University, the powerhouse club of the Quaffle W. Ava Seaton came from there. And pass out. Mifsud had a fumble. Front on contact on Egan. Then she just shoved the tackler out of the way in Georgia Booth. We'll have a ball up. 49 out from the Falcons' goal. Wilson, nice tap. Mifsud comes in the other direction. They both missed it. Booth charges through, breaks the line and kicks towards half forward. Beautifully done, but then she played on. Did Bella Clark and got run down. Play on's the call. Wake wrapped up, camped over top of the football. No prior opportunity there. It'll be a ball up.
Just needed a little bit more patience there.
Yeah, Bella Clark took the mark and thought, well, I'm away, but didn't see the Falcon coming from about fourth in line to run her down.
She was certainly not away, but now they can move it through. Here is McClellan, who did kick that goal earlier. She wheels around onto the left. It's going to go right to the pocket and taking a very nice mark down there. I think that is Jessie Williams. Centres it. Spoiled away. Now they can move it out. Wake got it out to Mifsud. Hartog takes a strong intercept mark. Wanted a penalty there for a little spoil. Kick and a half from home. Izzy Hartog takes her time. She's going to be called to play on in a second. Wheels around onto the left. Mark spilled. Just going to have to try and defend as grimly as they possibly can. Really agricultural kick came off. Handball went through. Fern did well. Or Frew, sorry, did well. But the kick comes out through Chris Gergel. And now they can move it on. Here's McKay.
And McKay gets onto the left boot, around one. The kick came under pressure, however, and McKellar took the mark. We'll give up some ground to Caruso. Thought about bringing it across to Hartog. Decided to go to centre-half forward instead. Missed Booth with the kick. Taken there by Storer. High ball into the middle of the ground. Di Matteo puts it out into space. How will it sit? Beautifully for Southgate. Runs to 55. Kicks for open space. Needs it to slide on with the dew. It won't do so. McKellar will get back. Will run away to the outer side of the ground. Fires a beautiful kick to defensive 50. Mark taken by Hart.
Probably should have gone with the top spin punt if she could instead of the drop punt to try and allow that ball to bounce a bit more. But the marking statistic here, 21 marks to 6 in favour of Port Melbourne. They've been so much cleaner in the aerial front. There's another one. Bit more provision in the way that they're moving the ball here this morning. Stutt is going to be the beneficiary here. However, bounces away from her. She's got trouble. Well, she's in trouble and had no intention of keeping that one in. Umpire will throw it back in. Ange Gogos there to help Sam Basis as she came back on. What a superstar Gogos is. Part of that Rebel VFLW Team of the Year last year, Jonty.
Yep, has been for a long time, Ange Gogos. Right back to the VU Western Spurs days at the start of the VFLW competition. The kick goes up towards the wing. Frew saw it go through her hands. Been quiet today, Fed Frew. And a little bit frustrated too, as you can see there. The of course the 2022 league leading goal kicker in Essendon's undefeated premiership season. Back-to-back
good
flags.
Stories coming out of
back-to-back flags for her. Of course, coming to Port Melbourne last year after being delisted from the AFLW squad. Ended up with another premiership medal as this pops up to Tchaikovsky. And then she got dispossessed and put away. Paige Tchaikovsky, 19 years of age, from Westbourne and the Western Jets, making her VFLW debut today.
Raymond got the kick inside the attacking 50. Haven't taken many marks. Here is Basis. Goes around on the left. It's a dribbler. It's a chaos ball. Di Matteo is there. Oh, that is a high tackle. Absolutely clothesline there. And a little bit of biff as well. Ava Seaton. She'll run it through the middle of the ground. And that is a wonderful kick. Woolcock can move it as quickly as possible. She does and finds Borg out there, who goes inside the attacking 50, and that is champagne football from the Borough. This is a huge, huge kick for Emily Harley.
And one that she is extremely capable of kicking.
Harley.
Katie Lee screaming that she touched it, but they're always going to be paid, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. And that's a short kick, and the defence really just had to be better, and here is Stutt. So, very similar to the Collingwood-Carlton game last night where Scott Pendlebury was just sort of sitting and, again, just caught napping, and it's Harley again.
Poor defence that.
Yep.
One's bad enough, but to allow them a second one, and Harley now has the shot, and she's 20 metres closer to goal.
Yep. Gogos saw it, but to no avail. She was just that little bit too late. Couldn't cover. So here is Emily Harley. Much more regulation kick than where she was about 30 seconds ago. She's got it. For the first time today, the Borough have the lead. And it's Emily Harley, the premiership star.
35th goal in 39 games, 8th for the season for Emily Harley. Still just 22 years of age. Product of the powerful Blackburn Football Club out in the eastern suburbs.
So they lead it by that kick, and Darebin just have to stay with them now.
It's been a long time now since they've scored. They've only just lost the lead, Darebin, but they haven't actually hit the scoreboard since Di Matteo's goal at the 17-minute mark of the opening quarter. So they need to find a way. The Falcons. They're fighting hard. They're scrambling very nicely, but they've got to score. As we see the Borough breakaway again. Seaton won the wrestle, hit Harley on the chest, and this is starting to look ominous. Harley is probably just out of range from 49 metres out. Kicks towards the open goal square, and the mark is taken right down there by Naily Borg.
The defence of Darebin has just gone to sleep in the last 2 minutes.
And that's all it takes, isn't it?
Yep,
against a quality
marks
team.
Galore.
Naily Borg marks uncontested, 5 metres out from goal. She'll kick this one from a 45-degree angle. Booted 1 goal for the season, 9 in 41 previous games. And misses to the near side. So a let off there for the Falcons. And the margin goes to 7 points at the 11.5-minute mark of the third term.
Huge let off for Darebin. Just cannot continue to allow that to happen. And that kick not good from Chris Gergel. The pressure immediately on. The quick kick comes out from Eastman. How will it go? For a behind.
Yeah, just get it out of the zone. Get it out as far as you can. Riley, Chris Gergel. I think she'll do it this time. Runs a full measure and brings it all the way outside 50. McClellan gets a free run at the ball. It goes through her hands, however. Then she butters up and lays a huge tackle.
Crunching.
Big hit on Liv Storer. Fair as the day is long, though. Rucks go at it again. McClellan tries to barge through a second time. 3 Falcons have got her. Umpire will have to sort us out again. And that's going to be a free kick for a wrestle in the ruck. Going against the Falcons. Be taken by Bella Clark, who pops it into the lead at full forward. Numbers with the Falcons. Managed to bring the footy to ground. Gogos flicked it up. Dispossessed was Vic Blackwood.
Yep.
50-gamer all for this club last week. Victoria Blackwood. McClellan has a go in the ruck this time. And I allowed myself 4 strikes this time, Val. It's your turn now, and you can talk about the wrestle.
Bit of a melee going on. Saw a big one at Williamstown last week against Werribee in the Smithies VFL. And the umpire just said, you know what, screw this, I'm balling it up. Some players were still on the ground having a wrestle. One of those was Gogos and got the kick away, but it's a free kick to Darebin nonetheless. So they will be able to move it forward and get it out of this Port Melbourne forward 50. And that kick, just, again, aerially, they're just been well below the Borough today, and that is proving the difference in this third quarter. Massive pack of players surround the ball. And this is getting concerning for Darebin. They haven't even looked like scoring since that opening goal. Rucks go at it once again. McClelland, who's had a really good morning. Kick comes, or the handball comes out. Tchaikovsky, there we go, got there in the end. Got the kick away. And now they move it inside 50. Here do the Borough. That's a great tackle, a splendid tackle. And Eastman had nowhere to go.
Ali Gottliebson.
Yep.
Well done.
Sensational tackle. Chris Gergel takes the mark. One of those rare marks for Darebin this morning. She'll move it to the outer side and switch play. Another mark. This is better. Duparquet. Told to go long.
Took too long.
The kick, not so good. However, Raymond goes in. Blackwood as well. Tried to get the handball out. Hartog corrals her. So does Caruso. It does come out in the end. Buchanan kicks along the wing. That's not a bad one either. Frew couldn't quite do much with it. Hartog goes back in. Here's Caruso. Handball's out. Wilson got it away to Booth. And was it out on the full or was it touched over the line? Touched over the line, throw in at half forward for the Borough.
There's a bit of frustration creeping in to this game. Obviously, slippery conditions with the dew around. It's starting to burn off a bit now. It'll be fine, you would expect, this afternoon. Boundary throw in. Just got a hand in as it hit the ground, Beth Wilson. And then she is camped over by Rudin. 15-7 in favour of the Borough as we head towards three-quarter time. 4 minutes remaining. Jumping over the top, McClelland. Nice take and hand pass up to Booth. That came from Hart. Kick into the pocket. Goes off hands. And out of play underneath the new scoreboard here at Jenna Steele Oval. Shows Port Melbourne 2-3. Darebin 1-1. Close enough if they're good enough, the Falcons. Ball back into play. McClelland won it down. Dispossessed. Booth tries to get it out. Rudin's over top of the football. Basis wrapped up by Eastman. And we'll do it all over again.
Back up we go. 3.5 minutes left in this third term for Darebin to manufacture something if they possibly can. It's been a really good quarter for the Borough, who haven't conceded any sort of score since the opening term. Defending grimly, and their midfielders are shining. Gogos just grasping a rib there after copping one, and going down, I think, is Egan. Gogos pushed down as well. There's a little bit of spite here, and another melee incoming. In the thick of it there is Mifsud. It is going to be a 50-metre penalty to Gogos, so this is where they can try and move it. Players are still moving, and I think Shannon Egan is still down.
Simone
Rudin
on the ground.
So they should move it now quickly while there's numbers away from the ball. The quick kick, and just a little bit too quick. Or too slow, I should say, because they allowed Port Melbourne to get themselves back, and now Stutt waited for the ball to bounce, but it bounced away from her. The kick was, honestly, it was woeful. Caruso can't really do much with it, and she's wrapped up. So Simone Rudin,
she's okay.
She's all right. Thank heavens for that, because didn't really move.
Just had to catch her breath, I reckon, had the stuffing knocked out of it.
Yep, winded. And the kick from Tchaikovsky, inside forward 50. How will it bounce? Di Matteo! Misses.
So dangerous, Monique Di Matteo. Not a lot of opportunities on offer, even for Collingwood last year. Not a lot of opportunities, but she takes so many of them. Even 1 point goal, whatever. She just takes the chances. Ball to come back into play. The margin is back to 7. Ball driven out to half-back. Wilson knocked it to ground. Strong tackle put on by Williams. Umpire says my ball. 47 metres out from the Falcons' goal. Can they pinch one before three-quarter time? Egan with the tap. Raymond run down by Williams, pushed in the back. So Emily Raymond could have went either way, that call, I thought. And went in favour of Darebin. And Emily Raymond will have, well, I don't think even she believes she can kick it that far. So in the end, she'll pop it up towards the top of the goal square, and there's nobody there. The mark was dropped by Beth Wilson, and in the end, Seaton had to walk it over for a rush behind.
Not a bad thing, though, because it's just a goal the difference now.
They've got 20 seconds to win it back and kick a goal, though.
They do, and however, that is a pinpoint kick, and the Borough, can they move it on here? Eastman takes the mark. They've got numbers everywhere in the middle of Jenna Steele Oval. The kick is long. It's not going to work, or is it? They've got a couple of seconds to go before the end of the term. Siren hasn't blown quite yet.
It did. It beat her.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a goal, but it beat her.
Wow. And that was so close for Jessie Williams. If she got it on her boot maybe a second earlier, there was the goal, and it could have been the body blow for the Borough. However, it is a 6-point ball game leading into the final term. Darebin 1-3-9. Probably should be pinged for holding the ball. Mifsud had it, lost it, came back out, and here they go. Oh, the kick just took way too long to come off, and it's a splendid, splendid tackle. A couple of players down.
Yeah, she hit her head on the ground as she fell backwards in that tackle.
Yep.
So
Nayli Borg affected it to perfection.
It's Grace Wake.
And Grace Wake. Well, the good thing is
she's okay.
She's all right, and she's jogged off, but
landed right on the ribbon holding the ponytail the scrunchie holding the ponytail in place, which would sting a little bit, I would have thought.
Nayli Borg, she looks a bit proppy. She's going to run straight off. The ball back to whence it came. And now in a bit of trouble. There was Amy Kane. And that'll be balled up right on the wing.
6 points the margin in favour of the Borough. Darebin did lead at three-quarter time a couple of weeks ago against Geelong, but couldn't hang on. McClelland got through traffic nicely. Harley, wonderful trap. Chris Gergel did well, and then better. Blackwood was the smother and laid the tackle. Well done, Riley, Chris Gergel, and Victoria Blackwood right there. So we'll have a ball up about 40 metres out, maybe a little bit further from the Port Melbourne goal. Wilson goes uncontested. Egan decided to play as an extra rover. Got it to Chris Gergel, who was run down by Seaton. No prior opportunity. And a throw up 40 metres out, directly in front now for the Borough's goal. Egan, Gogos, caught by McClellan, managed to fire it out of there. Ruden's handball was stolen, and the flying shot outside of the boot from Woolcock goes all the way across the face and bounces over for a throw-in. Best possible result if you're not going to get a goal, I think, because they can keep it locked in there, Port Melbourne.
Best for both teams in a way. I know they can keep it locked in, but at least it's not more than a goal the difference for Darebin.
Very true.
I think they would have been relieved not to see her behind. Now they can try and work it through their midfielders. Doing really well. Eastman got it out towards Frew, who socketed off the ground. Egan just hacked it, sort of sliced the ball outside the pack in congestion, and that goes nowhere. As we hit 16 minutes to go. Darebin can smell something brewing. Port Melbourne want to end the resistance as quickly as they possibly can. Mifsud did well. It came through in the pocket. Ryan centres the ball towards the square. Frew almost had it, lost it, couldn't quite take the mark. Katie Lee kicks it away and as far as possible, and it just bounces in.
Touched off the boot, called by the field umpire because the boundary was about to signal out on the full and was told to change her mind.
Yeah, I thought it might have bounced in, but yeah, you are right. Touched. Hartog was fuming.
Yeah, certainly thought it was their kick, Izzy Hartog. Ball back into play. Won by Wilson, only as far as Blackwood. Kick was smothered. Basis Maybe caught high through, toe poke to her own advantage, and then got run down. Did well not to give away the free kick there, Chris Gergel. And it'll be a ball up 15 metres out from the Port goal.
They are defending grimly.
I don't think they could be putting up a bigger effort, Darebin. They have been fantastic defensively. Chris Gergel needs to get it on the boot. Does so. Tumbles it away. Schoen got rid of her opponent. Picked up, however, by Clark, who hooked it back around the corner. Only as far as Wake, who has recovered. And will take the mark deep in the back pocket. Goes short to Chris Gergel.
So the ball has been relatively only to the right of screen. Schoen can't take the mark. Busting through his stud. Kicks towards goal. It's high. Was it juggled? Was it marked?
It's a mark.
It is a mark. And Ryan will go back and try and sink a body blow for the Darebin Falcons and give Port Melbourne a 2-goal buffer.
Goal umpire very, very quick
Yep.
to say, no, she got that inside the line.
The way that she managed to control the ball, that was sensational. This is a huge kick. She goes with the banana, and it's across the face. It is a 7-point game. Charlie Ryan gets a little bit more distance for the Borough.
So Darebin now have to score twice. Riley Chris Gergel prepares to bring the ball back into play. Runs away and brings it over towards the broadcast side. McClellan flies, couldn't take the mark. High kick came from Trykovsky in towards the wing. Good tackle put on by Woolcock. And it's rewarded too.
Don't know why the umpire took so long to give that call then.
You know, you're either caught or you're not.
Yep.
It was Amy Kane who was run down. So the free kick goes to Woolcock. Puts it back towards half forward. Chris Gergel knocks it down. Nice trap by Mifsud. Fires it back towards the middle of the ground. Caruso receives a shepherd from Di Matteo and is able to run back and get it. Got the support off half-back from Barton. Goes out towards the wing. Tracking it here is Hart. Runs onto it, and then ran into a Falcons tackler. And Victoria Blackwood ensures that she's going nowhere.
7 points is what separates the two sides at the moment. It's what the margin was at quarter time in favour of the Falcons. Comes out to McClellan, who, with a penetrating kick inside the 50, found Harley. And that ball is just going to bounce. A lot of players sort of stopped around it through, trying to corral it. In there is Wake. Tried to bring it up to herself there through, but just couldn't quite do anything. I think it's been a day of almosts for her. Prolific goal kicker as the two rucks go at it once again. That's going nowhere. Almost halfway through. We've got 11 and a half minutes in this contest for Darebin to try and forge something and end this winless streak, and for Port Melbourne to get their premiership defence back on track after 3 straight losses. Again, going nowhere.
Playing a different role too is fed through from when she was at Essendon. She was the deep forward there, along with and had Jessie Williams at Box Hill coming second in the goal kicking that year too. So they both ended up at Port Melbourne last year and playing in a premiership together, and neither of them are playing in that deep forward role. Wilson's gone down hurt after winning that tap. Holding the wrist maybe.
Beth Wilson, 34 hit-outs. Shannon Egan, 33.
Ankle perhaps. So that's been a very even contest again between those two. Egan wins that one. McClelland, Mifsud. Clearing kick out towards half-back. Front spot, nice mark. Pulled in by Hart. They've got it locked in here, the Borough. A floater towards half-forward. Umpire correctly says play on because it was dropped, and then says holding. A free kick goes to Grace Wake. And she's still a little bit How are you going after that landing earlier? Chris Gergel ran straight into the big tackle of Ryan. And going nowhere fast. Beautiful tackle that was. So another ball up as we tick into the second half of the last quarter. Mifsud trying to worry McClelland out of the contest. Ball spills free. Ryan over top of the ball. Wins it. Basis got her. And it'll be tossed up once again.
Really like Mifsud's game. I know she might not have had a lot of the ball. She's had 12 disposals now, in fact, but she's trying to will her team over the line here. And here is Harley. Gets the kick away towards the teeth of goal. Is it going to be thudded through? Well, she kept it in there. Did Kane, and gets the free kick. She is rewarded. Tries to get the kick to Lee. However, not so good. The handball even worse. Here is Wilson. Gets the handball out, and Eastman hits the post. That would have been the body blow. 2 behinds for Molly Eastman today.
So Chris Gergel brings it back into play quickly and finds Basis. Sam Basis to halfback, getting to the front spot, McKellar. Hasn't been required to do a lot today, but when she has been required, she's done the job. Kick inside 50. Caught was Eastman, dispossessed. McKellar got it back into Seaton. Wrapped up. 2 Falcons got her. Umpire calls for it. And it'll be tossed up right on the 50 for Port Melbourne. They lead by 8, so Darebin need 2 goals from somewhere here. Mifsud gets rid of her opponent, gave the hand pass off, and McKay is helped over the boundary line. Throw in at half forward for the Borough. It's been a tight battle all day. Frew tracks this one, turns back onto the right boot, inside 50. Harley had it spoiled, had another go at it. Trying to work through his Woolcock. She was wrapped up by Blackwood, and another ball up.
Harley is proving to be an imposing figure in this final term as he's fed through. Their forwards looking ever so dangerous, as are their midfielders. Gogos trying to will her side through here. It goes off hands and through the pack. Now they can try and move it, but here they go. The Falcons, they've got an opportunity, and just they had to be clean, and Southgate was not. Drives her opponent into the ground. And Lily Hart felt the full force of Janice Steele Oval as she landed. Probably about almost the furthest forward that the Falcons have got it in this quarter. And I feel like it's going to go back, but this one, that's going to go straight out on the full. So an opportunity for Darebin. Mifsud's going to be the beneficiary. She'll take it, and she'll survey her options. There is 6.5 minutes for Darebin to manufacture something. She goes along towards half forward. Kick not so good. It comes towards Raymond, but she's met by about 4 Borough players and goes towards the wing. McClellan can't take it, but here is Mifsud. She had an option inboard, didn't want to use it. Goes inside the attacking 50. Great tackle laid by Amy Kane.
Very good fist from Di Matteo as well to bring the ball down, save the mark, and give them a chance to build something here.
So up we go. An opportunity for Darebin. Came down from Rudin. Just a quick kick away coming from the Borough. And they can get there first. McKay doing really well, was hard, showing some heart, but she picked it up and was then tackled straight away. What will the umpire say? He'll say it's mine.
So this is the chance for the Falcons. Can they take it? Wilson won the tap. Recovered from the rolled ankle earlier in the quarter. Ball squirts out towards the boundary line. Spills free and then is wrapped up again. Seaton over top of it. No prior opportunity again.
I feel like they need one now, Jonty.
Well, they do. It's simple as that. They've got to score in this forward foray and would set up such a wonderful finish if they can. Ball spilled to ground. Was she caught high there? No. And when she wasn't caught high, Buchanan, she was caught with the footy. So basis with the free kick. Needs to hit a target here. And that's not the target to hit. McKellar dropped the mark, however. That gave the Falcons a chance. Raymond tried to run past the tackles, got dispossessed. It'll spill out. And the danger is averted for Port Melbourne. And this is away. This is through if it sits. Goes for the barrel from outside 50. How will it spin? It bounces to the wrong side, out towards the pocket. Foot race. Blackwood will get back there first. McClellan was bumped into the contest, but then gave Blackwood a forearm around the chops as she was trying to get hold of the footy. It's a free kick to the Falcons, but they're 160 metres from home again.
It was so quick, wasn't it? That transition football, and Raymond probably just had to settle a little bit and tried to do too much with that little piece of play. The kick, not so good. Comes out towards Ryan. And all of a sudden, what looked as though could be a promising piece of play for the Falcons, they find it where it's been for almost the entirety of this final term as they run through. Hart looks for a teammate and finds one in Wicksteed. They burst through McClelland. Here they are. Here is Harley. And that'll do it. Emily Harley with her second. She's looked promising this entire final quarter. As dangerous as ever. And the resistance of the Darebin Falcons, I think, is broken.
Yeah, it's broken. They might resist to the end, but the result has been locked away for Port Melbourne. The reigning premiers will break a 3-match losing streak of their own, consolidate their spot in the top 6. They've had to really earn it, though. They've really had to work hard because Darebin has thrown absolutely everything at them today. And they can definitely hold their heads high, and a win is coming if they can keep going like this. They will be beating teams. The margin is 14. Port Melbourne 3-5, Darebin 1-3. Egan won it down, straight through goes Seaton, has a bounce, runs to 75, gave it to Frew, stepped around one. Kick was smothered by Gogos, who then went back in and got the footy herself. And it'll be balled up about 46 metres out from goal.
6-day break for the Borough, who play the Bulldogs on Friday night. Right here, 10:15 a.m. next week. Darebin take on Carlton.
That one very much winnable, I would think. Carlton has put their AFLW players in cotton wool today. Whether they bring them back next week will be the key, or whether they rest them now for the season.
So, handball comes out. The wait will have to go to 769 days for Darebin. They're not winning it here. As Mifsud down off the ball. Here's Chris Gergel. Has a little bit of time and a little bit of space. The kick inside the 50 to nobody's advantage. Well, nobody for Darebin anyway. And the kick came away. However, the pressure was good. And they're going to have to move it very, very quickly here. And it's Ella Southgate who runs back to give them some sort of a sniff. I doubt it, but stranger things have happened in footy, and I think she's taken way too long.
Well, they need to kick a goal and get a free kick in the goal square, and then another one without the ball going back to the middle. They deserve a second goal out of this.
Ella Southgate, the kick just shanked off the boot. Comes through. They did get one in the end.
Di Matteo again.
It was. It's a one-woman band down there. Monique Di Matteo kicked their 2 goals last week. She's kicked their 2 goals this week.
She's such an opportunist, isn't she?
Yep.
Just the ball spilled to the ground. She couldn't quite take the mark in the contest there. Turned around, saw it at her feet, and just threw the boot at it.
Yep.
Straight through it went. Well done, Falcons. They deserve that. The Borough deserve the 4 points. They've managed to get the job done. They've had to work hard, and they will feel that these are a very well-earned 4 points today. Egan with the tap. Ball tapped to ground. Trying to break through again is Seaton. Is there another role in this game? There is not. And it is Port Melbourne who will get the job done. They'll win it by 8 points over the Darebin Falcons. And my word, it's been a good game of football this morning here at Jenna Steele Oval. 3-5-23 Port Melbourne. Darebin 2 goals, 3-15.